Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our second and final best out of 3 for today. You're watching the GEST Dota 2 playoffs. We are currently in the quarterfinals, and speaking of the quarterfinals, let's take a look at the brackets for today. We already saw Zenith take down Armageddon in what was a very entertaining best out of 3. If you haven't watched game number 3 yet, if you didn't catch it from that series, if you're just tuning in now, or if you didn't get to watch the whole thing, I highly recommend that as soon as the VODs become available, which should be in the next 4 or 5 hours or so, that you check it out. It was a back and forth. I think people will call that kind of game a game of throws, but it was incredibly entertaining nonetheless. Of course, I'm your host today. I'm LD of dotacommentaries.com, of Beyond the Summit. I'm delighted to be bringing you this game, and, well, unfortunately, I'm David. There's no David and David here. It's just an army of one David. Speaking of armies, godz is joining the army. He's over at twitch.tv/GESTIDC. He's casting Orange versus Mineski. This will be his final cast before he leaves to join the military. That's why he shaved his head today. So if you want to go wish godz goodbye, good luck with his future career in the military, you'd better do so today. He's not actually joining the military, guys. Don't panic. You can go watch the stream, though. That should be a great series. But we're here at MUFC versus First Departure. Of course, MUFC, most people know about them. It is their full roster, the standard lineup you'd expect. First Departure, a bit of an unknown entity, playing today as Mavis, and has a rather cute Asian girl as their logo. So I'm not sure how Mavis or this girl relate to the name First Departure. But you guys, you can fill me in the chat if you do. Otherwise, here we are. Gotta expect MUFC to have the advantage in this series. And they started off drafting a Bounty Hunter and a Jakiro. Two very strong picks. But what's interesting to me about this draft is they follow it up with a Sand King. And they also pick a Sand King against Rubik. This is a dangerous hero to give. You do not want Burrow Strike getting stolen. That is I would say, the single best non-ultimate ability in the game for Rubik to steal, bar none. Bar none. Better than Stormbolt. Better than really any other AoE stun, because it's also an escape mechanism. It's spammable. It's reliable. It's targeted. And by the way, Rubik has the mana pool to support it. So MUFC, they got to be careful. And this is the main thing that's weird, is just picking Sand King up this early, because frankly, well, it's a hero that doesn't normally get banned or picked, and, you know, they probably could have had it later, but hey, they want the Sand King, they get it. Will they run it as a farmer? Maybe we're going to see a side lane. Sometimes teams like to try and get Sand King matched up 1v1 versus Prophet, if they expect him to be in the side lane. It's not like Sand King dominates the matchup, but he generally does a decent job of getting some farm, but they already have the Bounty Hunter, so that gives them one solo for the side lanes, and that pretty much, maybe it's a farming Sand King. He doesn't match up well against Queen of Pain mid. And, well, I don't know. I guess it's a support. It's just odd to see it picked up this early, but enough about that. Let's look at the bans. First Departure, showing some respect towards Ohaiyo. They ban out the Invoker and the Shadow Fiend. Two heroes being banned out, those strong solo mids. Who is Ohaiyo going to be playing? That's sort of our question right now. We don't think it's the Sand King, Jakiro, or Bounty Hunter. Everyone's hearing my troll right now. I got you guys. As far as I know, godz is not joining the military. Maybe he is. Maybe he's trolling me and hasn't told me yet. That would leave me with a lot of games to cast and, well, very few options for people to cast them with. But the banning is complete. MUFC banned out a lot of farm independent supports, meaning supports who don't need farm. They ban out the Tidehunter as well. They want to have this team fight advantage. They want to be able to tower dive freely. They are going for a lot of chain stun, a lot of lockdown. I wonder if we'll see a Sven. I wonder if Sven is the hero to pick up here. Getting that move speed, getting the armor, and we've all seen the Bounty Hunter Sven combo. The other beautiful thing about Sven is Stormbolt even follows Queen of Pain after she blinks, so it's a great, reliable way to chase her down. Almost every other projectile stun in the game, you can blink and dodge it, but Stormbolt, it follows you. It doesn't care. It's like a homing missile. It's just, except it's not the crappy ability that is homing missile for Gyrocopter. P.S. Ice Frog, please change that ability, because I want to see more gyrocopter, whatever the hell his name is, however you pronounce it, because he's one of my favorite heroes. But no pew pew pew, no explosions for me. Instead, it's an MUFC Pudge. Well, they've got some good setup for this. They've got some good lockdown. Jakiro Sand King. They have an enemy team that could be punished. We could see some Rubik hooks as well, though. This is another hero that Rubik would love to steal the abilities from, and it comes down to the Pudge and the Sand King protecting the Burrow Strike, protecting the hook. Even for Jakiro, you have to protect the Ice Path. But by protect it, what do I mean? Well, right after you Burrow Strike, you have to use Sandstorm. Right after you hook, you have to use Rot. Right after you Ice Path, you have to use a Dual Breath. Dual Breath's got a bit of a wind-up to it, though, so that one's not real easy to pull off. But if you fail to do that, and you fail to kill Rubik first, he is going to punish you. Heck, even Track is going to be nice to steal. I would love to see, frankly, I'd love to see First Departure run Rubik as their solo mid, and put Queen of Pain as their safe lane farmer. I think a good start on this Rubik is just going to make life so much easier for them. I feel this is a really strong game to run that solo Rubik. Sometimes he's fine as a support. This game, there's a lot of burst damage. There's a lot of early killing potential. Solo mid Rubik is going to be more effective for me. And they go with Disruptor. This frees them up a bit. They could run Disruptor Queen of Pain as their dual lane. They could either throw Prophet in the jungle and pick an offlane hero, or run the Prophet as the offlane and pick someone else to jungle or support that safe lane. So they have the option, and if they go for that, I think that's a really smart way to conduct this draft. I also like the Disruptor pick. You pick up heroes that chase, that dive, and Disruptor is a hero that can punish that. Pudge charges in, Pudge is a haste rune, everyone's diving with Track, you glimpse one away. And because they had 3 melee heroes, well, Static Storm and Kinetic Field are going to be that much scarier to deal with. MUFC rounds things out with a Leshrac. How are they going to lane this? They don't have anyone who matches up well 1v1 against Queen of Pain. Maybe they're expecting the Rubik to go mid, and they think they can get away with a Pudge there. This is a little bit interesting. Sankey Leshrac is a strong dual lane. Pudge Jakiro is a pretty strong dual lane. They could... You know, you have the Bounty Hunter, so you pretty much expect him to be in the getting a solo lane anyway, probably in the Suicide lane. Maybe they're looking at the Bounty Hunter Prophet matchup and then running a tri-lane Leshrac, Sankey, Jakiro, solo mid, Pudge. If they go for the tri-lane, though, and they leave Pudge as one of the solos, he's going to struggle against Rubik or against Queen of Pain. So we'll see how MUFC lane this. They definitely have their options. They're going to have a couple of really strong lanes, but this is the weakness of the Pudge pick, is he's not going to help out those other lanes too much. Again, for anyone just tuning in, this is a best out of 3 between First Departure, a bit of an unknown entity coming out from Singapore, did beat a few good teams to get here, to finish top 2 in their group. And they're playing off against none other than MUFC, who recently suffered a pretty unfortunate defeat at the hands of Orange. Speaking of Orange, they will be in the G1 League Finals. Just talked to Ice Ice Ice. He just arrived in Malaysia. He's actually with Orange now at their practice facility. They're training a little bit, getting ready for G1. So excited to see that. But MUFC, they did suffer a defeat there. Nonetheless, they will have a big leg up against First Departure. As far as experience goes, as far as reputation, you got to expect them to be the favorites in this series. So, with all that being said, let's introduce our players. Ken on the Pudge. Looks like he'll be getting the safe lane farm. It will be a solo mid Leshrac. Very interesting. He'll be going mid. Not a great matchup versus Queen of Pain, but he does okay there. He shouldn't feed. Generally, you're going to want to go for Lightning build. Edict is just not going to be very effective, and you need to be able to counter-push the Queen of Pain. So we'll expect to see the Lightning build from Ohio. Solo mid Leshrac for him. Lane on the Jakiro, supporting that safe lane. Sankey maybe going to do some roaming. Has a smoke picked up already. And a wise choice, I feel. That bottom lane, Prophet is going to be playing it very safe. And you're probably wasting your time trying to kill him. Sharky, the final player for MUFC, already on a bit of a mission. Gonna be ganking the enemy jungle as this bounty hunter. Or not ganking, but doing a little bit of initial scouting, trying to sort of figure out what the lanes are. Maybe block off a camp or two. The final pick for First Departure, I was so excited about the Pudge that I just forgot, didn't really get to talk about it yet, but they're running a Mirana, and they're doing it as a farmer. And this might sound standard to you if you haven't been watching Dota 2 recently, but every team who's picking Mirana is running her as this kind of weird ganking support hero. Fluff and Stuff has played a support Mirana. for complexity in the past over in North America. And, well, I'm not a big fan of it. I just don't think Mirana is, even with the changes to arrow having a lower cooldown, she's gotten a couple of buffs here and there. She's still just, she kind of needs farm to do anything in the mid game. Infatuated is going to give up what looks to be a quick, early, not potential first blood, maybe. He's in a lot of trouble. This is not looking good. The burrow strike's cooling down. 3 seconds to go. Juking one way, juking the other. Burrow strike will be there, and this will be our first blood. Rubik killed off. 3-second respawn timer for him. Big blunder. You can't go checking the runes by yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a Dota 2 aspiring competitive player, learn from this. Always travel with the buddy as these squishy supports. And also, much better to approach this rune from this side, generally. You wanted to be over on this side just to be a little bit closer to the top lane so you could get there sooner to support, but if you approach from here, you're going to have the uphill vision. It's also less distance to retreat to a tower to the safety. Some shenanigans from Sharky, but something we've also seen from YYF and from a lot of offlane bounty hunters who are probably learning from him and just doing that creep pull. Sharky looking to get some early experience. He'll have a pretty good start this game. The first blood was... Actually, I don't know who claimed it, so I gotta check gold per minute. Oh, Sand King got it. Sand King got the first blood. So I was wondering, thought this bounty was a little poor. Blinking in is Poisson. Needs to finish off Ohaiyo. Instead, it's gonna be turned around. Oh, he had the kill, but he thought the hero was dead and ends up getting nothing. Oh boy, not a good start. 2 lanes now, not lost, but looking rather bleak. This roaming Sand King, normally not that effective because of the low initiation range of Burrow Strike, but this game, off to a great start. So I've just realized I haven't properly introduced first approach. We have P exclamation on that offlane Prophet. Good news for him, he can be a little more aggressive because the Sand King isn't here. Doesn't have a lane ward though, so it needs to be fairly careful. Poisson, of course, on that solo mid Queen of Pain. Infatuated on the Rubik. And Lubby on the Disruptor. I already introduced Miracle, playing that Mirana. And as soon as I finish introducing the players, there's a kill bottom. Well, it's not a bad lane for Prophet, but now it's just gotten hard. So off the bat, it looks to be 3 lanes going the way of MUFC. The gank mid, Queen of Pain, getting shut down. The first blood top, slowing down the Rubik, giving the Bounty Hunter and the Sand King a good start. That gives the Sand King early boots as well, which means he can roam. He's actually going to be bottling something up for Ohaiyo, then delivering the bottle back. Nice coordination there. And in fact, it's going to even apply clarity to himself. Now with the early boots, the issues that Sand King generally has with initiation range get a lot easier. Pudge, sitting at level 4, doesn't have that level 3 hook. Now, some interesting things to note about the matchup between Pudge and Prophet. Sprout TP away doesn't work against Pudge, because if you try and do that, he knows exactly where you are, and it's a guaranteed hook, so that's not going to be very reliable for him.
No.
As far as trying to dodge a hook goes, if you use your treants effectively, if you micro them well, you can use them to block the hook, and that's generally what we see really good offlane Prophet players do the few times that I've seen them match it up against a Pudge. So we'll see how that matchup goes. On paper, Prophet, not the worst hero to deal with a Pudge. Obviously, you'd probably rather have something like a Queen of Pain or a Puck there, but it can work if you play the matchup correctly. First departure, 3 heroes kind of amble towards the lane. Sentry Ward is applied, and, well, then they just back off. So not being super efficient. It looks like P just doesn't feel safe in that bottom lane anymore. He's going to rotate towards the jungle. Unfortunately, the small camp's been stacked. Just more kind of miscommunication from this team. He's not even going to get a creep. He's got to pull. Yeah, they do not quite seem to be on the same page. This is sort of what we saw of Armageddon in their first game, and, well, they definitely picked things up after that. They stormed back, just dominated Game 2, and then Game 3 was quite a back and forth, quite an epic series. Here comes the Sand King. God, he is annoying. Net is just being a total nuisance this game, and, well, thinking about going in. He knows that this twin-headed dragon is lurking in the tree. Speaking of which, there are no wards towards the bottom side of the map. The only ward the Dire have... Oh, he throws him back, throws Net back towards Poison. And then that's it. Okay. In comes the twin-headed dragon. Thinks about an ice path. Not going to release it. Sharky now hitting level 4. Everybody on MUFC getting levels and getting farm. It looks like big gold lead. Almost 2K already. Big experience lead over 2K. And that experience lead is absolutely massive at this point in the game. This is the death of Poisson. Burrow strike into the ice path. Easy kill claim. Miracle TP's in to the middle of 3. Finds 1. The double starfall. Gets 2. Has the arrow. Can he make it a triple kill? Where is that arrow? It's gonna barely miss. Oh, it was almost a triple. The counter gank from Miracle into the middle of 3 heroes. Could have been a disaster, but all 3 stuns were on cooldown, so it worked out beautifully. If any of the stuns were off cooldown, that goes the other way. 1 stun hits, then the others cool down, and they all fall down. Great counter gank, something they desperately needed to get them back in this game. The gold graph, the experience graph, though, still not quite cooperating. It's more just a plateau for the moment. And this is because Sharky was farming top the whole time, Pudge was farming bottom the whole time, and nobody was top for the Dire. They all rotated mid, so even when they have a good counter gank, even when they kind of turn a fight around, they're still giving up kills to begin with. And they're still forced to walk over there to help out.
Double damage.
Double damage picked up on the Sand Cane. I would like to see more wards around the map. When you know Sand Cane's roaming, you gotta be careful. Net's gonna come in. Starting with the Split Earth, in fact, which, well, if you hit it, that's a guaranteed kill, but can't count on hitting it. Ohaiyo, as expected, is going for at least a few points of lightning. He may choose not to max it. Edict is pretty decent at level 1. It scales fairly linearly, but even 1 point is still pretty good. The thing is, maxing lightning isn't going to help you as much later on. When you just want to push a tower, have a big, tanky burst damage presence in a team fight, lightning isn't really ideal. What worries me right now for first departure is we haven't actually seen this Pudge get active. He's still farming bottom, he's already level 7, he's got his arcane boots, he's going to have his urn soon. Hook is maxed out, and boy oh boy are there a lot of delicious targets. A hook onto any of these heroes. The Mirana, the Queen of Pain. Oh god, look at the Queen of Pain. 587 health. And if he runs into net, this could be the death of Poisson. Lubby's gonna sit. Nobody's farming mid. Poisson's probably about to die bottom. Nope. Okay, Sand King walked away. Now walks back. Bounty Hunter just being a total pain in the butt. Good old Sharky. Just making life so unpleasant. Hook is gonna miss. Poisson, don't get aggressive. This is not the time. This is not the place. There's your Burrow Strike, followed up by the Dual Breath, and then the Dismember. If he hooks Poisson, this will be another kill. Thinking about the hook, probably trying to bait him away. Not going to go for it in the end. And the Tier 1 even claim that level 1 Edict, now up to level 2. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Queen of Pain blinks away, but she's trapped. She's in trouble. Ice Path is here. Now the Burrow Strike to follow. Hook to clean it up. Over the top. And in comes the level 4 Rubik. What can he actually get accomplished, though? Oh, maybe a lot, because Prophet is here. The whole team shows up. 2 hero kills. No, only 1. Net. Wow, what a... Oh, and the arrow actually tanked by the Ancients. Might have been good, but what a job. Burrow striking down onto the low ground there. Here comes Miracle. Sharky finally hits level 6. I say finally. It's not even a late level 6. It just feels like it because there's been so much friggin' action in this game. Miracle might be in trouble, but Lubby's here as well. Now they want the Disruptor instead. Track should be applied. That'll be a track kill for 2. And now the track driving the back. Ice Path is going to whiff. And Net is here. Whiffs the Burrow Strike. Turns it around. Oh, are they going to get Sharky as well? No, he's able to walk away. Oh, goodness gracious. That Burrow Strike, very surprising to miss that. Just ground Burrow Strike right as the leap was coming out. Ken now rotates toward top. Mirana does die and is going for a bit of like the Luna build, I guess you could say. This is what we see Zhou do when he's playing Luna. Just get your Tranquil Boots because your hero doesn't have natural regen. They're cheap, they're cost effective. And then go for your Arena of a kill. Drums is not bad on Mirana. We saw... I know Complexity, or Dignitas, I think, have run that Drums Mirana in the past. Oh, this could be a hook. Not going to go for it. Whoops. So this roaming Sand King is level 5. He's got his Arcane Boots. He's gonna have Epicenter soon. He's gonna have a level 4 Burrow Strike soon. And the number of ways that MUFC have to set up a kill are getting a little bit insane. They have the level, what should be a level 4 Ice Path soon. They've got Hook, and they've got Burrow Strike. Any of these spells, if it hits, and there's another hero there for MUFC, first departure give up a kill. And when they give up kills, they give it up probably to track. Poisson, oh, he's got to be careful. They're going to Mirana ult. They're going to look to go aggressive here. They want to find some picks. Ken's lurking in the trees. Kinetic field. Oh, he's going to be pulled back in by the glimpse, but Hook's in one with him. Ken doesn't want to go without dragging somebody down with him. Ken's dropping low. Can he survive? Shrek man-moding it up. Ohaiyo is destroying the entire enemy team. They're all down to about 50 HP. Now P jumps in. Everybody low. Barrow's gonna fly. Back to full as Miracle. Salve and Tranquil Boots returning him to... Well, actually didn't even use the Tranquil Boots. Sharky looked to clean up. It looks like he may have gotten one on the back lines. That was almost a Shrek solo ultra kill. If he had one more second of Pulse Nova damage, one more second of Edict, that would have been 4 heroes dead. Just insane. And this is Shrek, who's still rather squishy. He's just got a Bracer, only 800 HP. They did get Pudge first, though. That allowed the fight to go a lot more smoothly for them. Again, if MUFC get their team fight, it's a team wipe, it's 3 or 4 track kills. If they don't, first departure can trade. They can maybe get out in a decent position. Vitality booster picked up on Ken, just going for something cheap, just wants that HP, wants to survive what we saw, the burst damage. Hook into a Dismember. Look at that job by Ken, casting Dismember as the Hook is pulling you in. Your hero is paused while being hooked, you can't actually do anything, but Sharky is gonna fall. Sharky will die, that's a big kill to pick up, shutting down the aggression. The tier 1 is still up, Vanguard actually completed for Ken. You know, oftentimes you'll see players just get the Vitality Booster, then go back for a Hood, go back for even a Mechanism. Once you have Arcane Boots, you can afford one. And Pudge is not a bad hero to carry, because he is lacking on armor. But just goes for the Vanguard. This is just all about getting the best item for right now, not an item that will help your team. That's the best item for even 3 or 4 minutes from now. He wants the best item this moment, at this exact second in time, and now he's looking to get a tower bottom. And with the Pudge pushing, well, you just don't want to fight. But meanwhile, middle lane, it is going to be a Burrow Strike on 2. Split Earth is going to follow this up. Miracle still got the leap. Notice how he baits with the leap. He doesn't drop it right away. Great play from him. So far, Miracle has been the most impressive player on this team. Now Sharky's in trouble, but maybe it's... Oh, it's First Departure who are. Burrow Strike stolen by Infatuated and actually used to cancel the Epicenter, saving 2 heroes, saving his own life, and setting up a kill. What a job stealing that Burrow Strike, and this is the danger of picking Sand King against Rubik. He's gonna have his... Well, he doesn't have his Arcade Boots yet, but... Rubik already has Telekinesis. He's already got 1 setup stun. Now he's got that big AoE. Ken throws what I guess just looked like a midget hook. Definitely didn't appear to be full range. As Pyrian said, my kingdom for a Zeus ult. That's what MUFC wanted earlier. Burrow striking forward. Could have Telekinesis to follow that up. Where is it? Now he pulls him back in, but it's too late. Poisson is quite low. 800 gold on him. Mechanism picked up on Prophet. This is nice, and actually I want to take a look at the graphs now, because we've seen a lot of trading back and forth. Experience very even. Very much better than it was earlier. The gold, not so good, but a lot of this is tower gold. A decent chunk of it is track as well. This is a game that First Departure can turn around. I think the key for them is going to be use your Mirana ult effectively and efficiently. Use a Mirana ult to initiate. Get the jump on MUFC. Don't get tracked to start the fight off. Don't let them have vision. Don't let them get a hook. Once they get 1 kill, MUFC are just going to snowball. They have chasing. They have constant chain stun. You're not running away from these guys. You're not going to be running away from hooks, from multiple Burrow Strikes, from the track move speed. Speaking of hooks, Ken's fishing. Ken wants to go. Infatuated still has that Burrow Strike of his own. Net's going to initiate. Burrow striking away. He's dropping low. He's still alive. Ken's getting focused. Ken's getting brought down. Static Storm is there. Ken will drop even with the Vanguard. Double kill for Miracle. What a defensive play from the Rubik. And stealing that Burrow Strike is just ruining, absolutely ruining MUFC, who out of nowhere have lost 4 heroes who got over aggressive. And it was, in fact, that Mirana ult that initiated the fight. What great play from First Departure, and what greed from MUFC. They did have a sentry ward behind the tower. That protects them from the backstab. It protects them from the lane wards, but it doesn't help them from a Mirana ult initiation from the other side of the tower, which is exactly what we saw in that fight. Oh boy, how the tides have turned, and suddenly Mirana, the fattest hero on the map, she's looking pretty big. She's got a Maelstrom up. She's got some good AoE damage. It's a very cost-effective DPS item. Gives her the attack speed she's lacking because she doesn't have treads. The damage she's lacking because she doesn't have phase boots. I like this choice a lot. When you go for the tranquil boots, you're getting sort of your very cheap regen, but you want something that gives you a little bit of everything. You don't want just damage. You don't want just attack speed. You want a little bit of both. Hook was cast. Just some jungling from Ken. So far, MUFC had such a potent start. They killed every single lane. They got a first blood top on the out of position, panicky Rubik, who just didn't really run away in the correct direction. Allowed Sankey to burrow string him twice. Then they gave up a kill mid to the roaming Sankey. Then, bottom lane, there was a dual hero kill. The Twin Head Dragon and the Pudge combined to bring down that offlane Prophet. And MUFC got the early towers, had the early map control. They still are up as far as towers go. All the outer towers are standing for MUFC. But First Departure has really impressed me. Really turned this game into, you know, from a bit, not a nail-biter, but a bit of a one-sided affair into anybody's game. And Mirana is the hardest carry in this game. Make no mistake about that. She doesn't have natural DPS, but she is a 600 range agility hero who's got a decent attack animation and has a mobility skill. Bounty Hunter, sure, he might hit harder with a genetic crit, but he's a melee hero. He's not going to be as effective at dishing out sustained DPS over the course of a team fight. Obviously, the rest of the team doesn't really scale that well, and, well, Leshrac, as scary as he can be, Mirana's rushing BKB, so they're in a decent position. I don't want to say they can turtle quite. I still feel they got to get the Queen of Pain rolling a little bit more. You'd like to see the Rubik get a Force Staff. Even Arcane Boots up would help a lot. Oh, Ken. Thought that creep was going to die, and I was trying to hook through the creep onto the Queen of Pain. Just a tiny bit short. Talk about a high-impact Mirana. This Mirana is 9-1-6. They have 15 kills. She's been in on every single one. That is very impressive. And not something you normally see. Mirana is a good counter ganker. She has some good ability to participate in kills. But to be involved in 15 kills as the safe lane farmer and still be lead or almost leading the farm charts, not quite, but keeping the pace with Leshrac. This is one of the better Mirana performances I've seen in recent memory. And we haven't gotten to the late game. We've seen a couple of decent arrows. We'll have to see just how good they are. A good late game arrow, it's just like a hook. It's just like a hook, and it can instantly win you a fight, get you a tower, and allow that snowball to go over the top of the hill and then roll down the other side. For some reason, the chat is absolutely fixated on Bloodseeker as a hero, which baffles me, as we're not seeing a Bloodseeker in this game. I have no idea what he has to do with anything going on here, but I don't think we're going to be seeing any Bloodseeker anytime soon. You'll notice MUFC have pretty good ward coverage overall. This is crucial when you have the kind of lineup they do. Whenever you have a Pudge, Pudge relies on good vision, and Track is one way to get that vision, but good warding is your safest and most reliable way to do it. It's really important to have those wards up. So far, though, Ken has just not had quite the impact you hoped for. You give Pudge a safe lane, you can't expect Dendy hooks, but you want to see a little more pressure, a little less farming going on than what we're seeing from First Departure. Of course, for all those who are just tuning in relatively recently, you're watching the GEST. Oh no. First Departure may have just smoked under a ward. I think that was them painting the ward. or pinning where the ward was. They're gonna head towards top. They're gonna head towards Ohio. Now MUFC smokes up. Ling smoked up. This is we saw an earlier smoke from MUFC, which didn't really amount to anything. So they've used 2 smokes in succession now over the course of the past few minutes, and it looks like neither one has accomplished a thing. Anyway, for anyone who's just tuning in, this is the GEST Dota 2. We're in the quarterfinals currently. Game number 1 of a best out of 3. MUFC versus First Departure. First Departure, of course, hailing from Singapore. A bit of an unknown entity, but impressing so far, especially the Mirana play from Miracle, that safe lane farmer. Carry player for them, it appears to be. And it's a best out of 3, so whoever wins this game, they still got to win. They still got to put 2 wins together to advance to the semifinals. In those semifinals, Zenith will be waiting for them. And a Zenith team who, frankly, looks very beatable right now. Did not impress today. They did take the series, but they really had to work for it. The group up top from First Departure. Arrow is going to fly. Miracle just trying to scout things out. Actually, could have found Ling, but just didn't angle it quite properly. Split Earth being passed and then canceled by Ohio. They're thinking about this. Tower is deniable. MUFC don't want to deny this, though. They want First Departure to commit. Speaking of commitment, Sharky committed to this backstab. It's going to win walk up. Sentry Ward placed in the lane, trying to cut off that bounty hunter. When he rotates in, Poisson still very squishy. Pretty easy kill. Here comes Net. This is a dead Queen of Pain. If she gets tracked, she will. Now the glimpse sending Sandcade back, but not before that epicenter goes off. Blinking away. Try to TP out. Needs a quarter of a second. Not going to find it. Chaos mounting. Miracle nails the arrow. Ling to fall. Splashing through with that Maelstrom damage, but a hasted Ohio comes in. An angry Horseman on the move, on the chase, has a Split Earth, needs to hit it, is not going to, and when it's all said and done, 3 heroes dead. It looks like on the back end of play, the Prophet got picked off as well as the Rubik, assuming there may have been a Pudge Hook involved there. Oh boy. In those chaotic fights, it generally is going to favor MUFC. Sure, on the side of First Departure, you have mobility. You have the Queen. You've got the Queen of Pain Blink. You've got the Mirana ult and the Mirana Leap. The problem is, well, which doesn't give you mobility, but gives you escape power. The problem is that they don't have the chain stun. So if they get caught out of position, it's a lot easier for MUFC to string together enough damage to get a kill. Whereas First Departure, more reliant on just getting the jump, getting that one pick, using the Mirana ult, using a good arrow. Then they can look to take the fight. When it gets chaotic, that's where Track is going to win out. That's where hooks and chain stun are just going to be a bit more reliable. As well as the Mirana is doing, this Queen of Pain is not having a good time. 600 gold behind the Sand King. Speaking of that Sand King, he's got a Blink Dagger. He's getting close to level 11. And that gives them even more reliable initiation. Now you don't need to hit a Pudge Hook. You just blink in, you burst strike a couple heroes. 1, 2, even more if possible. Then your Pudge walks in, he can dismember, hooks the fleeing heroes. This just gives MUFC such an orderly team fight. The order of operations for them to actually get kills just got a lot simpler. Ohio has picked up a Bloodstone. Mirana getting close to her BKB. Some pretty decent items coming out for both teams. As far as that gold graph goes, it is still favoring MUFC, but you keep in mind there's 3 towers, or 2 tower advantage right now. I actually think the top tower got denied. Kind of lost sight of that with all the action top. But 2 towers behind is First Departure. So definitely not as far behind as you might think. If they can get some towers, they'll catch up quickly. As far as experience goes, it's been all over the place. It's currently the Radiant leading by 2,000, which is basically nothing at this point in the game. The good news for MUFC, they have forced First Departure to buy a lot of wards. This is, when you're playing against Bounty Hunter, you're playing against Pudge. Not only does the enemy team want good vision, so that they can set up easy hook kills, but you have to be worried about them showing up out of nowhere. Showing up from a smoke, having vision on the high ground. Bounty Hunter just solo killing heroes left, right, and center. That's always going to be a concern. And right now, looks like that is a bit of an issue for them. MUFC, they already have 1 Force Staff up on Ken. It looks like we're going to have another soon coming from that Twin-Headed Dragon. Multiple Force Staves and Blink Daggers. This is how you can really look to deal with heroes like a Bounty Hunter. or not a bounty hunter, like a Queen of Pain and like Mirana. Just, oh, Miracle's got his BKB. He's gonna ult. He will be tracked. Are they gonna turn this ult into something? Poisson wants in. He wants in bottom, but MUFC will back off. And that ult is very important. Wow. Wow, really, Prophet? Really? This has to be one of the latest Hands of Midases I have ever seen. This Prophet picked up his Hand of Midas, I want to say, 3 or 4 minutes ago at most, if not sooner. So it's a 20-plus minute Hand of Midas. Generally, anything over that 12, 13-minute mark is really pushing it, but they're aiming for that late game. They have the better carries, they have the lineup that will scale more, and they just don't want to try to win now. They don't want to even fight now. They just want to sit back and farm, and with the BKB Mirana, perhaps they can. We'll see. But that is really late, by any standard. Here comes Sharky, and the kinetic field is going to start things off. Hook back in after the track. Easy hooks, but Sharky will die. Queen of Pain ult completely whiffs. Oh, that's bad news. That's bad news, but they're going to go in anyway. Link's dropping low. Ohaiyo with the man mode. That was a 4-hero ice pad destruction from Ohaiyo. Just mowing them down like pins at the bowling alley. They are all being bursted to pieces. On the back line of play, though, it's Miracle evening the score. 3 for 3. I think we saw 2 track kills there, so that will favor MUFC. Blinking at his Queen of Pain. Where's that Shadow Strike? Oh, this is the epicenter. That's what the bait was for. Ohaiyo now chasing forward. Miracle trading some blows. Unfortunately, this is a tanky-ass Shrek. I'm just not able to quite bring him down. Rubik will rejoin the fight. Has a split earth. Oh boy. That Queen of Pain ult whiffing and that 4-hero ice path macro pyre dual breath connecting. That was just a bit too much. You can't get hit by 4 heroes, or as 4 heroes by a macro pyre, but hey, it's really hard to avoid when you're fighting in this very enclosed area. That's where Jakiro shines. You fight near Roshan, you fight near ramps. Oh boy, it's a minefield then. It becomes so much more difficult to avoid the damage. Miracle did use a BKB charge down to 9 seconds. Not the biggest steal, but it starts to add up later on. The other big concern with this Prophet going for Midas is this team needs a pipe. You need pipe and you need BKBs. To deal with Leshrac, Sand King Epicenter, all the magical damage in the world. These guys ship magical damage out of every orifice in their bodies. It's a little too much. Well, Prophet says, screw it. No pipe for this team. I want a Scythe of Ice. Not a bad item. I think someone's got to build a pipe, and I don't know who's going to do it if it's not the Prophet. Mirana's got to be your physical damage dealer. Queen of Pain's too poor to build anything except maybe her own BKB eventually. Still sitting at net worth below everyone on the rating except for Jakiro, who is playing that ultra hard support role. Oh, that is not what you that's not what you hope for. Arrow will fly through. Ken is able to dodge away from it. Ken is just not really... He hasn't done a whole lot this game. Safe lane Pudge, whether they win or lose, doesn't feel like it's a difference maker for this MUFC team. It's really been all about the Sand King. To a lesser extent, the Leshrac and the Jakiro just hit a huge 3-4 hero Ice Paths, Dual Breath, Macro Pyre. Just way too much damage for First Departure to deal with. Poisson lurking in the trees. He'll be okay for the moment. BKB coming soon for Bounty Hunter. And they need another damage item on this Mirana. They really... The Maelstrom is a nice item. It's not enough. They need an MKB on her. They need something big. Because with those BKBs coming online with just the natural tankiness of these heroes... Oh, speaking of BKBs... Another one coming real soon for Ohaiyo. Also, the Maelstrom magical damage won't actually affect you when you're in BKB form. BKB form. When you have BKB activated. The Maelstrom damage won't affect you. The double Starfall isn't going to be hitting you. That's really why we saw Mirana get most of her kills. Was 2, 3 hero Starfall. Sometimes the double Starfall proc. Arrows hitting as well. It is the weakness of Mirana as a carry. She doesn't have natural physical DPS. Leap gives you a little bit of attack speed, gives you some chasing power, but it's not enough. you need some damage items to actually make it work. Poisson is getting close to the BKB. That is some good news for this squad. It's just it's taken so long to get this BKB, and while that's happening, they're losing the tier 2 mid. They're desperately trying to split push. Mirana's up to 2,400 gold. The fight might break out momentarily. What did the Rubik steal? He stole. Honestly, Lightning Storm's not even bad in this game. Just helps you to counter push, helps you to delay them from taking high ground. What it won't help you do is fight at Roshan, which looks to be the next objective for MUFC. Surprisingly not, though. Actually, they're going to back off. They want to defend that tier 2 top. They want to get bottom pushed out. Bounty Hunter going, not for a solo kill, but more just for harassment, I think. He will be sprouted up. Do they have dust? They have detection. Arrow does hit invisible units now. This was a recent chain. Sharky's dropping low. Could kill him with the Queen of Pain ult. Actually, it looks like they just got vision of him. Sharky will fall. Was there a gem? Ah, just was in range of the Sentry Ward, I guess? I didn't see dust being used. Maybe it's a visual glitch. Maybe they used one, didn't see it. But either way, they get the kill, and yeah, Sharky just kind of trying to do his own thing. He's just not, he doesn't have damage items. Maybe if he had that Bulb of Shadow Blade. Which, by the way, is just the most insane cost-effective damage item on Bounty Hunter ever. Oh, Miracle's doing it again. He catches him out with the arrow, but the Force Staff is there, helping to keep him alive. Miracle's kind of committed to this kill. There's the Dismember. Blake jumping in. Immediately, though, they find the pick-off. Godlike for Miracle, playing so exceptionally well. Now throwing Sandcade back in to the Static Storm. He will drop. 2 heroes dead, and the Bounty Hunter just respawning. Boy, oh boy, his first departure playing from behind beautifully this game. And MUFC just not really being efficient with their lead at all. Look at just the network of sentry wards. When you lose those outer towers, when you're up against Bounty Hunter, it puts such a tax on the supports. Speaking of those supports, still just boots and magic wand for Lubby. Infatuated, earn magic wand and boots. This is absolute starving artist level of items. The good news is, for this squad, Miracle is the lead farmer, and now he is getting close to that next damage item. What will it be? Manta style? Not sure. There's so much AoE, it's not necessarily the best item. It does give you the move speed, of course, and some decent damage. I think once you have this BKB, you just go straight for something like an MKB. But we'll see what direction Miracle wants to take it. Mjolnir's okay, but it's generally not worth completing unless you can make use of the active ability and place that static storm on, or not static storm, that, what is it even called? Now I gotta look this up because it's gonna drive me insane otherwise. Static charge. Static charge. There you go. You can. They don't have anyone in the front lines who can tank to place that. Look at P getting very feisty. Just knows his own jungle is empty. Wants to farm the enemy jungle, but there's nothing there. That is rather bold. MUFC probably wouldn't have a ward there since they've been playing aggressively, so it's not that greedy, but it's a little risky. If he dies, that's huge. He's almost got the Sight device. Gem up on lane. They're going to look to do some dewarding, get some good control. Using that ice pad to give some vision. Now the TP away, torch that top lane. Mirana will go for the Manta style. Despite all the AoE, just wants that move speed, wants the pushing potential. It just tells you what a good item Manta style is. Even in a game where your illusions are probably not long for this world, it's still very cost effective. Arrow from long range. Miracle barely missing, but Poisson blinks in over the top. Has that BKB up now. Speaking of BKBs, Ken is about to have one. We're going to see a lot of shiny gold dudes this game. Queen of Pain's got one. Mirana's got one. Leshrac, Bounty Hunter, and soon to be a Pudge as well. First Departure are going to get a tier 1 bottom. There's a glyph up for this team. There is a glyph up for MUFC. But that tower was going to die regardless. No real reason to waste that glyph. This is not a game of chicken. First Departure can win. They are going to have to back off. If they get here too late, that's kind of... Well, maybe not. MUFC is just playing a little scared. Not going to try and force First Departure back. In fact, they're going to go back and defend, and they TP to their own base. MUFC just showing a lot of passivity in this game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It isn't easy to go high ground against First Departure, but you have a gem. They're not going to be able to surprise you with that Moonlight Shadow. A little bit unexpected. Arrow to fly is going to barely miss Ohaiyo, but the Sprout is here. BKB pop. Stun will land on Miracle. Meanwhile, on the backline of play, Poisson going to work on the supports, trying to bring them down. Ohaiyo looking to TP out. Is there a stun? Is there a hex? There's no sight device. Everybody is going to get away. As far as experience goes, basically no lead whatsoever. Oh boy. This might be a kill. It's a double damage Bounty Hunter. P looks to be in trouble. He's got the mech in 3. He's got the TP as well. Will mech will not escape. No mercy from Sharky. The last time we saw him go for that solo kill, ended up giving one away, but this time will succeed. Double damage rune and the fact the Prophet was alone definitely helps out in that department. Now the plate mail coming up. This is going to help Ohaiyo to tank that Mirana's auto attack damage. Still not really that impressive. Her DPS, not great. Manta style, not really a great raw DPS item. More of just a jack of all trades. Gives you survivability, gives you chasing power, gives you some pushing power. But she's still not chewing through anyone quickly with this. She needs another item. They also need to avoid getting hooked. Shrek is being thrown out. Poisson's got to be careful. Pudge will back off. Arrow flies in. Arrow will hit on net. What an arrow. Now the kinetic field catching Sharky, but Sharky goes man mode. Blinking his Poisson into a dismember. Into some big trouble. Mirana jumps in as well. Everybody jumping into this fight. BKB City. Everybody's got one up. Epicenter will hit. Miracle brought down. The end of a beyond godlike streak for him. Forced to buy back. Tranquil Boots still... looking a little bit different. Thought he had replaced his boots, but no, that's just the broken Tranquil Boots. MUFC, what a kill. Picking off the Mirana, who was 14-1-9 going into that fight. Now 14-2-9. And now buying back. Might even die again. Miracle, is he going to die again right after buying back? He will. Oh, Miracle, he's played so well all game, but now getting caught out. MUFC showing that veteran experience, and First Departure kind of crumbling under the pressure. Will P get bashed by Roche? He won't. Could have been his death if he had. They were hunting him. Prophet summons some treants, just slowing down this push. Oh, it's not looking too good right now for First Departure. With that Mirana being forced to buy back and losing a massive bounty. The amount of gold, she was ahead of the Leshrac, and now she's behind by a good 3k. That is track gold working in the enemy's favor. That is just things not going well for First Departure. And they still really need a pipe, and I don't know who's going to buy it. Prophet has gone for the Sight Device. He's completed it. Queen of Pain, has she added anything to her inventory since this BKB? Not really. 2k gold, could buy the Ultimate Orb. Oh, and by the way, they lost the gem, so that's another 1400 gold swing. Just a massive... Look at this gold graph, look at the difference in gold earned, and then add another 1400 gold difference to that. You won't see it on the graph, because technically it doesn't reflect trades and items like that, but effectively it's another 1400 gold. So we're looking at a 1400 difference, more or less. It looks like he handed off the gem to someone else. Experience still very even. Oh boy. Mirana nowhere near her next item now, though. Just nowhere near it. was getting, you know, wasn't too far off of even something like a Crystallis, but now it's just to farm one of those up. And now, by the time her buyback's off cooldown, she's probably just gonna have enough for that first component. And you really want to save for that buyback. You don't want to get caught without it, because your base is exposed, MUFC is threatening to Rex, Shiva's now complete on Ohio. Even harder to kill, 24 armor and the BKB. Carry Leshrac can't really kill the Mirana unless she gets stunned without the BKB, but it's been happening. 4-staff into a hook, narrowly dodged, track is stolen, and that is big time from this Rubik. Infatuated with the track up, should be able to drive them all back. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Miracle up to 1k gold, just trying to push that lane out, give it some momentum. Tower's taking some damage. He may make his move towards the tower soon. Looks like he leaped into the trees. Well, he's got to be careful here. I heard an arrow, and it looks like it missed. And the middle lane, Sharky, just... I wonder if MUC really want to take this ultra late game, though. With that one fight, with Leshrac is big... Oh, the arrow's going to hit again on net. This time he connects. Look at the lightning procs. Luckiest day of Miracle's life. Sankey can blink away. He can burrow strike away. He's got to make his move soon. They're coming in for the side. They just need a glimpse. They're going to catch him out. Net overextends. Speaking of overextension, the Rubik is still tracked. Gets one off on Sharky after his BKB charge. So Sharky is spotted. They see him coming, but he's still charging and he's got a double damager and he wants to fight. Track applied as well to the Queen of Pain. There's Mirana ult. They'll use it now, but Queen of Pain's just got to run. Everybody looking to escape. Hooks into Queen of Pain. Poisson will fall. Unfortunate. That track setting up the hook. We talked about the combo all through the draft, all through the laning stage. MUFC have struggled to find their openings at times, but now things are starting to get easier for them. Just everybody's so tanky, and what looked like bad positioning from Net turned around, turned into 2 kills, and a crucial kill on the Queen of Pain. MUFC, they do have a great high ground lineup as well. They've got so much initiation. Hook, one of the best high grounds. Stall, speaking of high ground, here you go. Here's your opening for high ground. There's no static storm. There's no kinetic field. There is only a very dead and very sad disruptor. Oh boy. First departure. It's been a hell of a game after a horrible start, but I don't see them stopping this push. No Mirana ult, no additional damage items up on that Mirana. Just not enough to bring down this team by herself. Mirana, not really the kind of carry that generally wins a game by herself. She's not an anti-mage. She's not a lone druid. She just doesn't have that kind of raw DPS potential. She's more of a ganker, more of a utility semi-carry. Can be fearsome, but needs a big damage item on top of what she already has to do it. And it looks to be too late. MUFC get one lane of Rex. Game's not entirely over just yet. In fact, track is stolen again. If they can find some track kills, this game will turn in their favor. So far, they're really not.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Goldgraph continues its slow but stubborn ascent. Up to over 15,000 gold lead, up to over 6,000 experience lead. We're getting to a point now where Leshrac's actually 70 CS ahead of Mirana. But more importantly for Ohio, his score actually looks worse. Less kills, more deaths, way less assists, but he's got a bounty hunter on his side. He's got tower gold on his side, which means he is a very rich man. Speaking of rich men, that bounty hunter has a Desolator. Track thrown out onto Poisson, who has finally picked up his ultimate orb. Not too far off a Scythe of Ice. I think First Departure really do have a shot at this game, but it comes down to using these Scythe of Ice to just pick heroes off instantly. The Scythe of Ice has to get a kill. They can't use it and then just slow a hero down. They can't use it to run away. They've got to get kills with it, because MUFC have some built-in Scythe of Ice of their own. MUFC just trying to do some additional economic damage. Another arrow, another beautiful arrow from Miracle. Without vision, it looks like. Still able to set up. Queen of Pain jumps in, unloads the ult, completely whiffs. Cross all airballs it. Sharky now sprouted up, trapped in place, tracked by Rubik. BKB from Ken. Wants that pesky Rubik at the center just for him. Where's that burrow strike? Nothing just yet. Nothing just yet. And it looks like he is actually still there. Thought he got glimpsed back, but nope, just hanging around. America's still giving chase. Not able to actually find a kill aside from that bounty hunter. 1 for 1 so far. Blinking forward is net. The chasing power, the chain stun. This should be the death of P unless he jukes, and so far he's doing a good job. Lubby runs in, and a Doom into Angry Blue Horse, and Angry Blue Horse says, thank you for the gold, sir. Now I'm going to go try and win this game. Mirana on the back lane of play does pick off the Jakiro. Now hunting Ohio. Prophet TP'd in, wants to catch him out. There's the Sprout. The Scythe device is there. We'll follow up. Ohio doing insane damage. Can they bring him down? Can they bring down this beefy beast of a horse? So far, he's alive. So far, he's tanky. Burrow strike on 2. Where's that split earth? Can't get in range for it. Blinky away his Queen of Pain. They just can't kill this damn Leshrac. Is there a hook stolen? There is. We've got a hook. I'm Pudge. I'm Pudge, Rubik says, but he's not Pudge. No rot, no dismember. Just a hook, and that's it. Good news, Miracle is getting close to his next item. If you're a fan of First Departure, if you're rooting for these guys, I think the underdogs are getting some decent fan numbers in the chat. Well, she's got her next item, more or less, if she chooses not to save for buyback. And frankly, I think you just take the risk. You go for that damage item. You've almost got your MKB. Whatever the item you want to build is, Daedalus, something big like that. There's really no other utility items left. You've already got your Magic Community. You've got your chasing escape item with the Manta style to remove that track, to help you sort of run away in these team fights. If you go for something like a Lincoln Sphere, you just don't have a shot. Team needs damage. Unfortunately, Ruby gets picked off.
Uproot and after them.
And this may be Q for MUFC to try and go high ground. Does that Rubik a buyback? He does not. He's 800 gold away. Day late and a lot more than $1 short. Queen of Pain lurking in the trees. Wants to initiate this fight for a team. In fact, I think is spotting out net. There's the kinetic field. There's the hook on the Miracle. Has the ult. Has the leap. They're not sure if this is too far to be diving. We'll have to see Sharky bringing down that Aegis Prophet. He will buy back. Pausel gets caught on next. Now the Janata crits going to work, but Sharky might die, and if MUC die, they won't be right back in the fight. Look at the damage done by this Mirana. Miracle has the Crystallis up. He's getting the crits. He's finding the kills. Now into Ohio. Ohio being kited by that Sprout, but there's a Burrow Strike. There's an Epicenter. In a few moments, Ohio, will he live? They need a crit. They need a kill. They get it. But Mirana hooked back into the Pudge. She will drop. She has buyback. Needs to buy back now. It's all in for First Departure. They can't wait anymore. They can't lose the second lane of Rex. On to Ken they go. Another Sprout. Another arrow. It hits. No, it doesn't. It hits the creep. And now the buyback from the Bounty Hunter. Looking to kill off that Rubik. Looks like he'll be able to do so. Ken dropping low. Epicenter. Epicenter. Oh no. Net just annihilates them. And this will prompt the GGs from First Departure, who played a hell of a resilient game after really losing all 3 lanes. I think that's fair to say. Lost all 3 lanes. Mirana played great through the mid game, made a few mistakes late, and, well, we just saw MUC with that track hold advantage, with the map control, the better, more reliable initiation. They're going to pull away with this game. In the end, it was neck and neck for a while, but they will take it. MUC, they will be your winners for game number 1, but this is a best out of 3, and it's anybody's game going in to that game number 2. First Departure, they're a bit sort of backs against the wall. They got to win 2 in a row, but the way they played this game, I feel like if they just do a better job in the laning stage, they definitely have a shot. Maybe you don't give away Bounty Hunter. Maybe you pick some... Maybe you're a little bit more careful with your positioning, I should say, in those first couple of minutes. Here come the disconnects from First Departure. This will be the end of game number 1 fairly soon. So while we have a moment here, I think it's a good time. Let's take a look at our brackets. Whoever wins this series will go on to play Zenith, who just finished defeating Armageddon. A very beatable looking Zenith, not kind of the fearsome force that Zenith was heading into the International 2. they've a bit of a different roster for them and just have not looked very solid yet. They're using a stand-in as well. I'm not sure. I don't think Ice will be playing for them in this event. He's busy in Malaysia practicing with Arj, preparing for G1 LAN finals. As I say this, the game will end, the throne dies, and our Game 1 victors will be MUFC. The new squad for MUFC at moments looked a little bit weak, but Ohaiyo with a very stable and solid performance. As that Leshrac, the Bounty Hunter track kills were pretty good, the Sand King initiations were great, and it all also came down to that one amazing team fight from Ling, hitting 4 heroes with Ice Path, Dual Breath, and the Macro Pyre. Insane AoE. MUFC pulled this game out. Not out of the hat, but it was looking a little bit dicey for them at moments. They take Game 1. Game 2 is coming up soon. I'm LD, of course, of dotacommentaries.com. I'll be on the summit. Thank you all for tuning in very much. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a jiffy.